Hello and welcome back to LIT, Lisa's Initial Thoughts. Today I want to speak about the Good Samaritan. I want to talk on what Jesus meant and what some of these things symbolize that Jesus spoke of. So I want to read Luke 10 verses 30 to 35. And Jesus answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him, and they parted, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. Verse 35. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said unto him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Now, I want to take a look at what all this means, each step of the way, what Jesus was talking about and what all this meant. The thieves are like demons who beset us on our path and strip us of the garments of virtue, strip us of our relationships with God. So that's what the thieves were. This man was on a journey. He was on his way. He had a mission. He was on his way somewhere. And in the process of him getting there, he came across these thieves. And not only does it strip us from, our relationship and our virtue and our garments, it damages us spiritually as well, because this man was very much damaged. So the thieves were like the demons. The priest is like the lawgiver. The laws that were given by Moses, when the priest went by, he was like the lawgiver. The Levites, he was like the teaching of the prophets, but you have to go back to Deuteronomy and back there, the teaching of the prophets. And the Good Samaritan is like Christ himself. The inn is the church, which receives all kind of manner of men. The innkeeper is the ruler of the church. And the 2 pence are the Old and New Testament, which minister healing to the sick. So what I did was I went back and I looked up this particular story, and that's when I found all of what all of these represent. And saints, it's really something, because the priest and the Levite, they should have truly taken care of this poor man who was beaten and left for dead, and they left him there. But yet a Samaritan, who they deemed was not as spiritual as they were, they thought that they had worshipped a different God. It's a lot going on there with the Samaritans when it comes to the Jews. And so you would think the Samaritan would have been the one that would have walked on by. But instead, the Samaritan is the one that is not supposed to, quote, be the spiritual one that renders aid. And the priest and the Levite kept moving. So Jesus tells this story because someone had asked, who's your neighbor? So he goes into this story over in Luke about what happened on this road as this poor man was journeying on his way, and how he came across these thieves, which truly steal, kill, and destroy. And that's what they tried to do to him: steal, kill, and destroy. And that's what the enemy does. That's why I started off by saying that they are like symbols of demonic spirits. They're symbols of demons, when I started off saying that, because that's truly what they were. And then those who should have held up the standard and held up Christ, and it is found in someone that they didn't deem was worthy. They even mentioned Christ's name. So I just thought this story was interesting. I like the story of the Good Samaritan. It really does speak volumes when you take the time to study it out and kind of look behind the scenes of why Jesus did this. A lot of the stories in the Bible, and a lot of the parables, I should say, that Jesus gave, if you really go back and kind of dig through them and search for them, search through them, excuse me, I'm so sorry, you can find that they're much more deeper than what the surface is telling us when he tells these stories. They're not just good stories, which I'm sure you're familiar with anyway. But anyway, I enjoyed searching out the Good Samaritan. I enjoyed doing that, and I just thought I'd bring it to you. And these are just my initial thoughts that I give you. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you like it, you can comment. If you like it, you can tick the like button, and you can share it if you like. But if not, that's okay too. And saints of God, until we meet again, stay safe, stay blessed, and most of all, stay in the fight. Thank you.